My roommate will jump out of bed and run to the shower when he hears my alarm in the morning. My roommate enjoys nice long showers in the morning using all of the hot water. I realized that he literally jumps out of bed and runs into the bathroom when he hears my alarm. I started putting my alarm on silence for a while and this was working well enough, but I still missed my morning shower several times because of their unreasonable long showers. So I just started moving to 2 alarms, one alarm about an hour and a half before I normally get up. This has caused him for about 2 weeks now to get up really early, run the hot water out and be out with enough time for it to be warm again. Small victories are nice. Edit: it is possible to run out of hot water, really? Who questions that? This is intended to be a light-hearted post, hence the petty revenge. My roommate is not a piece of shit, we've been friends since 8th grade. Everyone does things their roommates don't like, myself included. Despite what people seem to think, we do talk about house issues. Sometimes people forget or don't realize how annoying it is or what they're doing, which is why I petty revenged. I would just set 2 alarms. The first will be silent. Get up and use all the hot water. The second alarm will go off right after the timed shower and he or she ends up with zip. I am not a morning person and will often miss 1, 2, or even 3 different alarms with different tones. No music though. When I had just a tracker band, whatever Fitbit offered, it would track sleep patterns and would vibrate me awake within a 15-minute window. I don't know the voodoo, but they claimed it would alert, vibrate, when you were in a light sleep state to gently wake you from your slumber. I could get 5 or 9 hours and it waking me up worked as easily with 5 as it did with 9 hours of sleep. Is there a button to turn it off? Because I have turned off alarms in my sleep before, and I have a feeling I would do that. There was, but it was designed for nightwear so it wasn't going to be accidentally pressed. I haven't used one in a while. You could set it to shut off through your phone, app, button, or movement. Edit: go sidetracked and hit post. But I think you can have them set to realize that you are up and awake. I am not a morning person and will often miss 1, 2, or even 3 different alarms with different tones. No music though. When I had just a tracker band, whatever Fitbit offered, it would track sleep patterns and would vibrate me awake within a 15-minute window. I don't know the voodoo, but they claimed it would alert, vibrate, when you were in a light sleep state to gently wake you from your slumber. I could get 5 or 9 hours and it waking me up worked as easily with 5 as it did with 9 hours of sleep. Is there a button to turn it off? Because I have turned off alarms in my sleep before, and I have a feeling I would do that. There was, but it was designed for nightwear so it wasn't going to be accidentally pressed. I haven't used one in a while. You could set it to shut off through your phone, app, button, or movement. Edit: go sidetracked and hit post. But I think you can have them set to realize that you are up and awake. I'll have to look into that. There's something about that algorithm tracker that even a small vibration will work because it's monitoring how easily you'll wake regardless. Setting the time window worked better than a set time because you may be in deep sleep when it tries to wake you. If it does, you may just wake up rough. Alarm app, thank me later. I have mine set to force my ass to get up and scan my shaving cream barcode for it to shut off. I give myself a couple snoozes before it won't snooze anymore. That's pretty hardcore. I had onions that I set to make me do a math problem to turn it off. I found out that my brain does not function very well first thing. That's why I make myself scan a barcode instead, cause then I gotta get out of bed and walk. I would, if I don't have plans that I can't put off, go lay back down cursing myself for seeing that alarm. I'll still try it, it might work to make my lazy butt move. If I'm out of bed, my dogs will make me feed them. I realized a long time ago that if I'm giving myself enough time to get decent sleep, this doesn't work well when I'm trying to consistently pull off 2 hours a night. I can just tell myself what time I want to wake up, remind myself a few times as I'm laying in bed, and wake up right around that time. Last night I went to bed around 2 a.m., told myself I wanted to wake up around 9, and opened my eyes at 8:55 this morning. That's god tier shit right there. Try it lol. I'm pretty sure most humans would be able to do it if they knew it was a possibility. I used to be able to do that when I was young. Now my bladder is my alarm clock. Lol. This is a bit like those light alarms that gradually increase the glow until they are blindingly bright. And then they'll make noise, if you set it that way. Those were really effective for me, especially in the winter. Of course, they affect my spouse as well. I have one of these. It works really well for me. I am fully awake by the time it makes noise. A deaf friend of mine used to have a thing she put under her pillow that vibrated at alarm time. It worked great despite her being a deep sleeper. And before you ask, no. That was located in her drawer and vibrated on demand rather on a set alarm time. Well, that would certainly wake me up. Pretty sure it would be on the wrong side of the bed, though. They exist. They are called Pavlik. Check it out. It's the only way to wake up my husband as he'll sleep through literally anything else. That sounds really awful. I think I could use the thought of that to train myself. I wouldn't need to actually buy anything. I started using a smartwatch to wake me up. I would sleep through sound alarms or dismiss them in my sleep. The watch vibration usually wakes me up pretty quickly and has worked really well for me. I guess everyone is different. You can convert yourself to a morning person. If you go to bed earlier and at the same time each night, you will wake up at a certain time each morning too, even without an alarm. Or you can continue to enjoy sleeping later. I've tried that. I've given myself a bedtime of 9 and I'm usually in bed by 10. I've been waking up on my own at 6 to 7. I'm just not happy about it. I'm grumpy first thing until I hit a certain amount of awake. When I was active duty military, I cussed out several people who woke me up when I wasn't expecting it. Thankfully no one who was too high ranking. The thing about that is then I have to find some other point during the day to let it charge fully, and that's just not as convenient as letting it charge overnight. Even 5 years back they held a charge of 5 days and a charge time of 30 minutes to an hour. The last one I had would last a week and a half between charges that took 20–25 minutes. I'm not sure about the current gen smartwatches or fitness trackers, but I do know they have begun to implement wireless fast charging. Letting it top off while you are in the shower isn't a bad thing. Unless your only steps for the day come from your shower bathing and you need those reps to count. I have a Series 3 Apple Watch that's behind on its updates. I have to factory reset the watch every time I update. It's absolutely ridiculous, but that's another story. It can last just over 24 hours. But up until COVID-19 happened, I was leaving the house at 7:30 a.m. and not getting back until 9 p.m. while I could technically charge it at work or on my laptop when I'm in class. It's just not convenient enough. I get a lot of my steps at work, so I'm hesitant to do that, and I don't like using my laptop in class because I get distracted. Although I guess I won't have to worry about that anymore because classes are all online now and I'm probably gonna lose my job, so. Others I would assume are much better. Even my first gen Ioniq was smart enough and would last for a few days. Wait, what? Are we forgetting the whole point of an alarm? How's op gonna wake up to a silent alarm? Good solution, shit roommate. I would argue this guy doesn't talk to his roommate much. Yeah, sounds like they are both bad roommates. Yeah, save water bathe together. I would say just the guy who didn't post this is. The one who posted this just wanted a hot shower. Good roommates talk to each other. Both want a hot shower. There's no talking to these assholes. His parents had 20 years to talk him into being a decent human being and he still didn't get that memo. Sprinting to get in first and then using up the hot water, no, the other person is fucked right before they need to be somewhere. Yeah, this isn't a matter of communication, it's just selfishness, entitlement and not giving a damn. Don't waste your breath pointing out the obvious to assholes, just work on getting your own place and fight fire with fire. No point in telling thieves to not take your stuff, not to eat your food, not to use up all the hot water. And get a lock if you don't have one. That's a pretty negative point of view. People change for the better as they grow all the fucking time lol. Further, who is to say his parents didn't just fail him? My buddy was a selfish dude at 18 but knowing his home situation that made sense. Now he is a very nice respectful person and the complete opposite from his parents. I am not trying to take credit. But if myself and others didn't give him a chance and wrote him off he would be a total fucking prick at this point. Here is something for a good laugh. After he goes to bed, go to the hot water heater, turn off the valve for the hot water. The next morning when he wakes up, he will never get hot water. Then you get up, turn the hot water back on and say, works fine for me. My house has a gas hot water heater I think. I don't know if that makes a difference but I also don't want to break anything or risk blowing up my house. You can lower how much water is heated. Most gas water heaters will have a valve that you can set to something like vacation where it has a minimal output. FYI, in case you were unaware, you could lower the temperature, not how much water is heated. Water heaters hold X amount of gallons of water depending on the size of the unit. You can't change that without installing a different size water heater. You're his alarm. All you did was set his alarm for earlier.